The governor of the state of Illinois has declared a gubernatorial disaster proclamation in response to COVID-19 outbreak, and all of the village of Glendale Heights is covered by the disaster area. In light of the ongoing COVID-19 outbreak, the village president of the village of Glendale Heights has determined that an in-person meeting for the July 7th, 2022 special village board meeting is not practical or prudent in light of the disaster. All of the trustees of the village board participating in the July 7th, 2022 special village board meeting, wherever their physical location shall be verified and determined that they can hear one another and can hear all discussion and testimony during the meeting. Signed, Chaudhry M.A. Khokhar, Village President of the Village of Glendale Heights, dated July 7th, 2022. I would like to call this special Village Board meeting of Thursday, July 7th, 2022 to order. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mayor Coker?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Here.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Here.
Trustee Light? Trustee Meritato?
Here.
Trustee Pojek? Trustee Schroeder?
Here.
Please stand and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We now go on to public discussion of agenda item. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board on an agenda item? None. Old business, there is none. New business, number one. An ordinance to repeal ordinance number 2022-41 entitled An Ordinance to Waive Bid and Accept the Proposal of AF Services Incorporation for security services for the 2022 Glendale Heights Fest and authorize the execution of a contract by and between AF Services Incorporated and the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois, and to approve and authorize the execution of a revised agreement with AF Services Incorporated, Ordinance 2022-50. I need a motion for that.
So moved. Second.
Second, first Pat, and second is Trustee Siddiqui. Our discussion. No discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2022-50 is approved. Number two, a resolution to approve an application for an outdoor pyrotechnic display permit for the Village of Glendale Heights, RES 2022-R-66. Is there a motion to adopt resolution 2022-R-65? I need a motion for that. Trustee Smith,
So moved. Second.
Trustee Pat, second. Discussion. None. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
The motion to adopt resolution 2022-R-65 is approved. Number three, Glendale Heights Fest Hours and Security. Is there,
I'm sorry, Mayor, is that, on my form, it's got resolution 2022-R-66.
Yes.
this is 60,
66. Is that what he said?
Yes. You said 65.
it's 65, yeah.
It's 66.
It is
66.
66.
It's 66. Yeah,
So,
so 66 is approved.
2022-R-66
Yeah, just
is
for the
approved.
record.
So it's 65 over. on both specified. Number 3, Glendale Heights Fest hours and security. Is there a motion to discuss Glendale Heights Fest hours and security?
Well, I think you could just, whoever this topic is.
Yes.
Give it to
Yes,
Doug.
and thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board, for coming to the special session we can give you not only just approving the 2 ordinances related to FEST, but through the events that have happened over the last several days, the ongoing violence that is around us. We had a meeting talking about how do we have and put on a festival for residents that we've done for countless decades and provide a safe environment for that to happen. And going through all of the options available to us, with only really 7 days out from an event, the options were kind of limited, quite honestly. The best option that we have come up with for security, besides, I won't get into the actual security stuff that we're actually doing, but is reducing the hours of the carnival. We're asking the board to approve us reducing the hours of the carnival that we've already reduced prior to 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And the carnival will be open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday, 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday, 2 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. because the carnival will close when the fireworks commence. So we looked at 9 o'clock because historically, when we've had issues at our carnival, it's been after that hour. It's still light out at 9 o'clock, which gives us a great opportunity to get everybody out in a safe environment while it's still light. We can still see all the oncoming traffic on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because Sunday the roadways shut down. But 9 o'clock seemed like the hour that felt the safest for everybody that was in the room talking about how to make this a safe environment honestly for our residents and for the families that are attending to have a safe environment for their family and kids. Because that's really who this is for. The other side of the carnival, the midway side, where the bands are playing, the food vendors are at, and the beer tent, those hours aren't changing. So those hours are staying the same, only the carnival is closing at 9 o'clock. We're asking the board to amend those hours to 9 o'clock. Just so the residents know, we have added to our budget this year an additional $50,000 for security measures. So we have hired we have more police officers in our festival this year than at any other time in the past. By double digits, double digits every night, almost getting up to 20 additional officers on Sunday. So we have a very large security contingent. We have hired outside staff, outside security companies to assist us with security inside the Midway area and the Carnival area for additional resources and manpower. And we did all this prior to July 4th. So the safety of the residents is the most important thing to the board and the mayor and to us as village staff is to ensure a safe environment. And our goal is to provide a safe environment. And closing the carnival at 9 o'clock in today's world just seems like the prudent thing to do for the carnival. The rest of the band and the food vendors will be open the normal hours that they're going to be open. The band's going to play their full sets. So that seemed like the reasonable thing to do, the prudent thing to do in light of July 4th, in light of everything else going on in the world. With your approval, we'd like to reduce the hours back from 10 and 11 to 9 and 9:30 on Sunday.
Mr. Chief, Peppers, do you want to say something?
I agree wholeheartedly with Doug Flint's synopsis there. We've put in mitigating plans to play for, it's not only street violence, but the active shooter situations that are going on throughout the country, and really close to home too, Chicagoland and the collar suburbs. the safety of our residents is the utmost importance, and this is a family event, and we have to make sure it is safe for the families. We believe that, along with everything else that we're doing, closing the carnival site at 9 o'clock will help reduce the fears that families may have of something happening there.
I need motion to discuss further. Trustee Schmidt, and second is trustee Pat. And now discussion. Yes, Mr. Schmidt.
Doug, are we going to be assuming any additional cost liability from the Carnival company for shortening their hours?
No, they've agreed to those hour changes.
Okay.
Yes.
That was, I mean, they were the, they were the first call we made to see what, what we can agree to when it came to hours, and they were in agreement of those hours.
Trustee Pat.
Yes, I'm not gonna go into our security thing, that's private, that's ours. But yeah, we sat down and we do have a good security plan, like Doug said, we spend $50,000 more than to
Years
make people
past.
safe, so I think that this is the way to go. And I mean, this is our safest way, so I agree.
Anybody else? None? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
No.
The motion to adopt new Glendale Heights Fest hour is approved. We now go, yes,
Peter, was there a quorum for that?
For that vote?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like every other vote,
three.
there was 3-1.
3-1.
3-2.
Yeah, because, let me think,
Majority, yes.
a majority of the quorum, yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I had to do my math real quick.
Okay. Just double checking.
We now,
Yes.
any question? We now go on to public discussion of agenda items. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board on an agenda item?
And I would also, I apologize, Mayor, I forgot to read into the record. I should have done this before everybody voted, but there's 2 emails that came in from the public on this topic, and I apologize sincerely for forgetting to read them. This is from slk914@aol.com. Her name's Sherry. Due to horrific events today in Highland Park during the parade and subsequent fest canceled in surrounding towns, will Glendale Heights consider canceling their fest as well for the safety residents of police, fire, and fire staff? And then from Barb Guzman, I'm emailing you in regards to the meeting tonight that I cannot attend. While I know my opinion is probably not a popular one, I, for one, do not enjoy when the fest takes place. This is because we live close by and we hear the noise by our house and it can run pretty late. I work 2 jobs, so rest is very important to me, and it also creates traffic and more random cars on our street. With everything happening right now, COVID, yes, people still get COVID, and shootings, do you really think this year is a great time to have this? So I apologize for not reading that earlier. I don't know if it'll make a difference to anybody's
That's fine.
vote, but,
And it's off topic, it's more towards canceling than reducing. the-
right. So, anyway, thank you. We're at public discussion, Mayor.
Public discussion, yes. Trustee Pat, yes.
Doug, by knocking this down till 9 o'clock is a great access to us, because it's still light out. We can get these people out of the park, still light. I mean, I think 9 o'clock is great. I mean, I don't wanna not have the fest.
9 o'clock was the most reasonable option that we came up with for how do we put on the fest and provide entertainment for our residents in a safe way. And not closing the carnival at 9 o'clock was the best option of the options we came up with, right? We're hopeful that more people will go to the food vendors and to watch the bands. That would be great for the food vendors and the bands, right? So and that's not the purpose of it, but we're hopeful that people will move from the carnival to the band area.
But I mean, we're eliminating fireworks on Wednesday.
Mhm.
So I mean, they're only on Sundays. So I mean, I think we're doing everything that we can do with security, police, and everything else to knock this thing, to have this thing done for the week. I think we're doing our best to do what's safe.
Correct.
We certainly don't want to do anything that's not safe.
Correct.
But I mean, like Doug says, I mean, we're spending $50,000 more for security for this event for 7 days. So I think it's a goal, but, that's only my opinion.
Yes.
Good.
Oh, I had, Doug, I think you're doing a marvelous job. Please don't misunderstand me. As for closing because it's light out, that shooting was done in broad daylight. So I don't know if that's going to make a difference. I'm just not happy right now with everything that's going on, and those other parades, they canceled everything because of this. I just feel like I'm just not comfortable with it. So this is why I want you to know why I voted no.
That's okay.
I'm having a hard time with it.
We are, but I mean, we can't stop, I mean, what we do because there's some crazy out there that
I know.
And-
not playing with a full deck.
And this is where, we're providing the safest environment we can possibly provide, I think, for our residents to come to a entertainment venue. The world we live in today, it's up to each individual person on their own level of fear of attending a public event, right? And every person in the surrounding suburbs has the opportunity to come to Glendale Heights Fest, or they have the opportunity to stay home and not come to Glendale Heights Fest, right? So, but we're gonna provide the safest environment we can provide for them, and hopefully they feel safe, and we're gonna do everything we can to make them feel safe, and host a very fun event for the public. But people have that decision to make on what level of safe do I feel when I go anywhere in public? Going to the grocery store, going to the park for a walk, going to a Cubs game, right? How safe do you feel anywhere right now? And that's everybody's personal decision to make. We're doing the best we can to make our public fest safe for everybody, and that's the goal.
It's like I said before, I mean, we have a great security plan in effect that I'm not going into, but we are gonna make the people safe.
We're gonna make them
They
feel
do
safe.
come. Feel safe. That's what we're gonna do.
I just have one more question. I hate to put this to you, but I'm giving you all my problems. Are you going to reduce the cost of the wristbands because you're reducing the times that the rides are available?
Keith?
So the answer is no, and the reason why is that although the wristbands on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are reduced, the wristbands on Saturday and Sunday are the same. So it's a choice to make whether or not the residents want to spend that money for the wristband. But the hours, the amount of time that they have on Saturday and Sunday is the same amount. If they use them on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, it is less, but the determination was to not change the price.
All right, thank you.
Before we do anything, Doug asked me a question about quorum. So, but you weren't meeting quorum, you were meeting for the votes for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this time, I just redoing in my head the numbers. I'm gonna ask that the clerk call the mayor for a vote, so that we have four.
We hit a majority of a quorum, though.
I know, but I'm gonna ask that the mayor be put on the record for a vote.
Okay. Mayor Coker.
Yes, I am in favor of having a summer fest because our residents, they want.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
There is no
I have
Any
one
question? Yes,
Yeah.
Mrs. Siddiqui.
Just a question, God forbid, if something happens, do we have any evacuation plan? Like, do we have anything set up for, I don't want to go in details,
George,
but just.
I can address that real quick, if you don't, it's okay?
Go ahead.
So, yeah, so in case of any type of event, weather or whatever, we've actually, are painting the emergency exit paths yellow. So all the residents, when you see, the yellow path, there's 5 exits and entrances, 3 exits and entrances at Fest. There's 2 emergency exits, east and west. There's a yellow path that's gonna be painted, there's a black path now, but it'll be painted yellow by Wednesday. And that path is going to lead to the emergency exits. So, yeah, you probably don't know this, George. So that yellow path will dictate the emergency exits to Glenside Middle, which is our shelter in place, right? And out to the park on the west side. So residents just need to know that if something weather-related or any other catastrophic event takes place inside Fest, find the yellow brick road, it'll take you to an exit, and you'll be able to get out quickly and efficiently if you're not by one of the main entrance and exits. So, as far as other stuff, we have not a full-time emergency manager, but we have a part-time, 25-hour-a-week emergency manager. Our emergency operation plan is, well-researched. It's 25 pages thick.
Yeah, bigger than that, yeah.
Yeah. It spells out what's going on for the day. It spells out any events that have taken place prior. It gives you the weather. It gives us everything. And we have a pre-meeting at 4:45 at Fest with command executive staff and police department. Well, I shouldn't say executive staff, but staff of the Fest. Any elected officials that's there. And we have a pre-meeting to go through the EOP. In that EOP, Emergency Operations Plan, is everything for the day. And it's vetted through DuPage County Office of Emergency Management, and we get everything right from the Weather Service on weather. And actually, during an event, we actually have the Weather Service on a direct line. So last time we had a weather event, I was actually on the phone with the National Weather Service in Chicago. Yep, you got 2 minutes. Right? So, I mean, we get real-time weather reports. So we're pretty dialed into that side of the operation plan. If a major event takes place, I or other person will be on stage giving direction on what to do in evacuation. If something spontaneous happens, law enforcement inside and security inside will give direction on what to do and where to go.
Anybody else? No. There is no executive session. And before
I'm sorry, was anybody from the public we kind of passed over a public discussion? Yeah.
okay.
I think it's for the chief, actually, but I know you don't want to, Pat mentioned twice, you know, I mean, we're not asking for you to share the detailed security plan with us, but Doug said there's 2 entrances and exits in and out.
3.
3? Okay. So last year, I went to a festival in Colorado, and they only had 1 way in and then 2 exits. And last weekend, I went to Swedish Days in Geneva. And the one thing that they both did was, well, it was different. In Colorado, they had a metal detector that you had to pass through. But both of them had kind of like, you know, like a cattle, you know, where you had to go in individually, and if your bag looked funky, they checked you. It wasn't just so randomly walk in wide open. Are we gonna have something more like that so that it's just not, you know, in the old days, it was just everybody walked in, anybody walked out. Board, I completely commend you guys on the security plan. I mean, it sucks that we live in the situation, and Mary, I 100% agree with you. You know, I go both ways with it. But I don't think we can live in fear. We gotta, you know, we gotta enjoy our lives and put the people that are scaring us behind us and let them notice that we're gonna live our lives. but we have to have safety too. So I was wondering if you were gonna do something like that, or if it's still gonna be as wide open to get in and out.
No, we have very, very similar measures to what you're talking about that will be for entering the park or for entering the festival. They're gonna run under the same, almost exactly what you're saying. And to the point of Mary, she's right. It's a community event. And with that said, I know trustee Light has said this a lot before, and we really need this. The community, if you see something, if you know something, you have to let us know. A lot of lives were ruined at that parade, and that could have been stopped if somebody would have come forward and said something. So we're asking, please, if you see something, if you hear something, make sure you contact us so we can help eliminate that before it actually starts. So that's one of the options. And so like trustee Meritato said, you have to try to get something for the community. We really do. We have to get the community out there, but we have to make sure it's safe too. You can't just do that on the law enforcement side. You can't just do that on the gate side. You have to do, everybody in the community has to work together to make sure it's safe. And I think that's how we do it, by working together.
And then with the 9 o'clock shut off, was it gonna, I mean, what's gonna get the kids to just leave? Because they're just gonna turn the rides off and that'll be like the cue to kind of sweep that section and it's time to go?
Very similar to how we did in the past, yes. So we'll shut down the Carnival side. The Ferris wheel indicates the shutdown of the whole Carnival side. The lights will shut off. We'll get people in and out. If they're with families, we'll have them go on the Midway side to their family. Otherwise, that whole gate is gonna be shut down. Nobody can get in on the Fullerton side. That one will be shut. There'll be somebody manned there. The other two gates that we're talking about, those will be open for people to go to the Midway.
All right, thanks.
And to your point, is there a number or an email, George, that somebody could send if they see a social media post or they have some concern that they can send something to?
We have it listed on our website too, where you can contact the police department for any sort of emergency or information that you want to share, or you can contact the police department directly, and that's also on our webpage, or 630-260-6070.
Anybody else? Before I get motion to adjourn, I will add few sentence. Our nation is going through very tough, rough, and very tragic situation. A few days ago, we lost 7 precious life and 30 people are injured, So I would like to, if there is no objection, I would like to take a moment of silence in the memory of those who lost their life and who are injured, So please take a moment of silence. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I got one more question, Mayor. George, is there, I mean, could we get a number that we can put on Facebook or whatever it is, like, I don't know, I'm going off the wall here, but I mean, I'm kind of crazy anyway, but is there a number that we can call, like an 07 or 09? I mean, if a person's in the park and they have their phone, they see something. So is there a number that, like, we can put a code like 09 or 07 or some kind of a code where they can just hit 09
I'd have to work that out with,
and get to us?
I'd have to work that out with our IT department, but we'll look into it. We'll have a civilian personnel on site every day of Fest, and we'll have our records open. So we might be able to just channel calls right through to that person, and then they'll get out to everybody that's on
Yeah,
there.
that's just a thought.
Well, actually, the code, Pat, is 911. So if somebody sees something inside the
Well,
park,
I know, but I mean,
they should call 911.
Yeah, if we're on scene and they see something, if they know something ahead of time, if they see something on social media, if they hear something, please let us know before Fest happens. And then we can, even during the day of Fest, so we can try to mitigate that before it happens.
okay, thank you.
I have something. Before we adjourn, I would like also a moment of silence for our village employee, Joe, who lost his life. I think we we shouldn't forget our village employee who was performing his duty while he got demise. So just a moment of silence for him as well, please. Thank you.
I would like to take a motion to adjourn. Trustee Schmidt,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
second trustee Schroeder. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Siddiqui,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
This meeting is adjourned.